Welcome, everybody, to the Next One's Network. I'm Ashley Jones, and I'm joined with Miles Byrd, the 6'7" guard from the San Diego State Aztecs. Miles, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So before we get started, we're going to break down just how good you have been in your last two seasons according to our database. So I'm going to read some numbers for all of our numbers people out there, just to kind of let them know. So according to our database, Miles is rated a 69 overall after only 2 seasons with the Aztecs. He's in the 86th percentile in blocks at the wing position and in the 74th percentile in steals amongst all Division I basketball players. So that alone has already been extremely impressive. But what makes it even more impressive is that he's done that in only the 44th percentile, averaging around 14 minutes per game in his sophomore season. So already extremely elite, but just so much more room to grow.
Definitely.
as we look into your next 2 seasons. All right, you ready to get to it?
Let's get to it.
All right, let's get it. So we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. Coming out of high school, you're a 4-star prospect, ranked 10th in the state of California. What was your time at Lincoln High School like?
It's definitely like a growth period. You know, a lot of people who play Division I basketball, they don't play JV as a freshman, which I did. I was on JV as a freshman. COVID took away my junior year, so there was a bunch of trials and tribulations through my high school years. But, you know, just keeping my head down and keep working, knowing that something's going to work out in the long run. So, I definitely had a lot of growth at Lincoln.
So then coming out of high school, several college offers, one of those being Villanova, is where your pops played, his alma mater. What made you choose San Diego State, and what has it been like playing for the Aztecs so far?
Man, I'm a California kid. Like, I don't know if I could. I'm going to have to leave California someday, but, you know, for the time being, I didn't want to leave California. Close to family, great weather, historic program. You know, we've had multiple NBA guys come out of San Diego State. My first year there, we go to the national championship. Yeah. So, you know, I think I made the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no better place than California. I can rock with you on that one. I can definitely rock with you on that. So I played in the Mountain West. You played your first 2 seasons so far at San Diego State. I know what it's like to play in Viejas Arena, but for someone who's maybe never been to a game, never played there, describe that experience.
Man, Viejas is rocking. You know, it's a sold-out crowd every single game. The crowd, San Diego, treats us like we're an NBA team. You know, we don't have an NBA team in San Diego, so we're held to that standard. You know, it comes with good and bad. You know, they're definitely going to see some stuff written about you if you have a bad game, but, you know, that comes with everything. So if you're going to play in the NBA one day, you're going to hear that too. You're going to hear criticism. So, I love the fans of San Diego. I love the people in San Diego, and great city and as a whole, generally.
Yeah. I mean, they rock with you, but they're going to keep you humble.
They're going to keep you humble. They're going to make sure you're good.
Exactly. No, I love that. Okay, so we mentioned your pops briefly, played at Villanova. You're a coach's kid. He coached at UOP. What has that been like? I feel like coaches' kids kind of have like a higher basketball IQ, a great knowledge for the game. What was that like growing up? And then like, what's it like now?
So now he's not coaching anymore, so it's a lot easier for me and him to like connect on the basketball side. You know, he's not spending time with his actual players. I'm his player now, so
yeah.
It's a great conversation between me and him every day about hoop. Growing up, I think it was so beneficial because I was always around basketball. So like, I think one of the best parts about my game is my feel.
Yeah.
And I think I just get feel because I've been around basketball since I was born. I've watched so much basketball, so many different types of basketball growing up. So, you know, being able to watch that much basketball and be around it and be around Division I players since I was 2 years old, 3 years old, making connections with them, I think it's helped me out as a basketball player.
Yeah, I mean, you see guys all the time, especially around the NBA. Their dad was a coach. They were around the game when they were little. Did your dad ever take you to games when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, I was a ball boy for Pacific for like at least 5-6 years. So, I mean, I feel like I was that kid that always tried to talk to the players. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's why I think nowadays when I see a coach that I see a son that he has or something, I think it's just like my duty to make sure that he feels welcome, because I remember being that kid back in the day. So that definitely being around them was one of the highlights of that.
Yeah, I mean, just growing up around the game, like just a hoop head in general.
Definitely,
I love that. Okay, so freshman season at San Diego State, like you said, mentioned you guys go to the national championship game. What was that like? How fun was that season?
I mean, for me not playing at all during that season, I played in 4 games, maybe 40 total minutes that whole season. that was still the most fun year I've had basketball-wise. Because I know I'm competing against future NBA players, Keyshawn Johnson, Lamont, Darion Trammell, like a bunch of high-level basketball players. I'm getting to compete with them in and out every day and just overall get better as a player. But I'm also seeing them hit game winners in New Mexico to win conference and, game winner against FAU to go to the national championship. So I think that was one of my most beneficial years of basketball, just being able to take that backseat role and develop not only on the court, but like mature as a freshman in college, first time away from my parents. It would definitely help.
What did the guys did they kind of take you under your wing and kind of like try to show you the ropes? I mean, so many people have not been able to go to a national championship game.
It's funny. I mean, this past year, my sophomore season, we had a lot more freshmen and sophomores than the year before. The year before, it was me and Elijah, the only scholarship freshman, and then we had a redshirt freshman, DeMarsha Johnson. So everybody was either a fourth or a fifth or sixth year.
Yeah.
So I think that helped our team in a way because our team's already tight-knit in that sense where those fourth, fifth, and sixth year players have been with each other for the past 4 years. Mm-hmm. But the fact that like a Keyshawn Johnson was able to grab me and Elijah and just like be our big brother while we're out there, it's a tough year. It's definitely a tough mental battle not being able to play.
Yeah,
knowing like you think you can play. But, when you have guys like Keyshawn and guys like AG, like those type of guys are the guys that are making sure your head's on straight and you're going to be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I was going to wait to bring this up further in the interview, but I feel like the people just need to know. I watched film on you. You're a lefty.
Yeah.
I'm a lefty.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to just say, if you know, you know, but lefties do it better, right?
We shoot it best.
Okay,
we shoot it best.
Okay.
The form is definitely best. It looks better.
It's the smoothness to your game, pretty much always a shooter, a little sauce, a little something like that.
Definitely.
But no, we gotta let the people know, just so they know what they're really.
That's stamped that lefties are better than righties.
There we go. Look, he said it, not me. I don't know. But no, for someone who maybe hasn't seen you play, how would you describe your game to them?
I feel like I'm like an overall team guy. Like, there's nothing specific that I do game in, game out that's just me. Like, I feel like I have every single part of the game in my bag, whether that means setting the tone defensively to start the game or if that means knocking down a big shot late in the game. I think some of the best things I do is pass the ball, find my teammates. I'm a bigger guard with a pretty good vision. I mean, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I was a baseball player growing up, so I love that one-handed skip pass and stuff like that. So stuff like that comes easy to me, just making reads, and all stems from just having feel and being around the game for so long.
Okay. Like that. What will this offseason look like for you? Obviously, a lot different coming off of your freshman, sophomore year. You're probably going to be stepping into a much bigger role. What is this offseason going to look like, and how is it might be different from the last two?
It's funny. I was just having this conversation with somebody, and it's like my freshman to sophomore summer was like, there was a lot of worry. Like, I don't want to go into my sophomore year and not play in my freshman year and not play again. So that whole entire summer, I was working to make sure that they couldn't not play me. Mm-hmm. And then this summer, I'm going from a 14-minute role guy to, who knows, maybe 25 minutes a game. So it's more of just fine-tuning, trying to stay in shape, be best shape possible, because if I want to be what I want to be, Defensive Player of the Year next year in the Mountain West, I'm going to need to be in the best shape of my life. So yeah, just staying in shape and definitely working on my body. Adding strength, and I think that's going to help me in the long run, taking bumps on drives and ultimately being a better defender.
And then offensively, what are you looking to maybe improve on or just kind of sharpen?
I'm trying to definitely get my ball handles tighter. I make great passes, but sometimes the ball gets a little loose in my hands. So with tightening that up, I think I could play the point guard position at a high level.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned point guard position. With your height, I really feel like that could be a position where you can just kind of take off because there's not a lot of guys at the point guard position that tall. What is your vision like when you get the ball up there and you're kind of running the offense?
I love looking them corners. Like I like looking at those corners, coming off ball screens and making reads. But yeah, no, I think just because of my height, it's easier for me to see over guys. And like growing up, I was very bad at jump stopping. Like, I would never jump stop, but, my freshman year, they told me I had to go run a down back every time I didn't jump stop. And I was on scout team, so I'm going against our starting players. They're pressuring me, making it hard, but every time I didn't jump stop, I had to run. So making the right play comes from jump stopping, you know, being on balance and seeing people not jumping in the air to pass and trying to be solid.
I remember that from when I was playing. Never make a pass. Leave your feet to make a pass.
Leave your feet to pass. My dad hates that the most.
Yeah, ingrain it in your brain, even though it's the natural thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. Let's see here. So in a society where instant gratification is like so huge these days, and you've really had to have a high level of patience in high school, and now in college, you come in as a freshman, you play maybe 4 games, and then your sophomore year it picks up, you play 34 games, 14 minutes a game. Extremely efficient in that year, but now it's like, okay, it's really your turn. It's your time to get after it.
Time to step up.
What do you think you're gonna be stepping into coming into this junior season?
I think I'm gonna be stepping into a huge role, you know. Freshman year, pretty much everybody on that team has been at San Diego State for at least a year. So my sophomore year, we get two transfers in here, pretty much the same faces. So, you know, culture. One thing about San Diego State is we're a very culture-oriented program, I would say, and like not superstitious, but like we have routines that we normally like unspoken routines that we always do.
Yeah.
So I think for me next year, I'm gonna have to step into a leadership role as well. You know, I definitely have that personality to where I think I could get people to gravitate towards me, but you know, being able to lead the team no matter how I'm playing, you know, I'm trying to stay even the whole entire time, you know, and if I'm able to step in that leadership role, keep the routines going, keep tradition, sky's the limit for the team that we got coming in.
Love that. When you're surrounded by so much talent, you don't always get the hype that you're wanting, or, you know, the on-cam time, but just watching some film on you and reading some stuff, you always came in and you understood your assignment at hand. How are you able to really just lock in and know what your job was and do that job so well?
I think it also goes with that patience, you know. Freshman year, midway through the year, I realized I'm probably not going to play again this year, which at the time, you know, sucks.
Yeah.
But day or two of thinking, it's like I could either dwell on this and let it affect me the rest of the year, or I could be the best cheerleader on the bench. So for the next 20 games or whatever, every time something good happened, you would see me standing up. Me and Elijah, who was the other freshman that wasn't playing at the time either. You know, so we both took on that, be the cheerleaders. Sophomore year, I realized that there's people ahead of me who are gonna get more minutes than me. So it's more about coming in and doing the little things, you know. If I can sense that the game is a little, like if we're playing flat as a team, first thing I'm gonna do is come in, try to get a steal and yell at the bench, like, come on, let's pick it up, something like that, you know. So I think I'm just very comfortable filling my role, and that's what you have to do nowadays. Like, there's only 1 or 2 superstars on every NBA team, and everybody else is role guys. So, you know, being comfortable and being a role guy and knowing that filling a role is just like being a superstar. You're doing what you need to do.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. What does trusting the process mean to you?
Trusting the process is like just staying down and knowing that one day you're gonna come up. You know, freshman year of high school, I'm trying to play varsity basketball. I'm on JV. I'm barely playing on JV as it is. So it's like, I know junior year, I'm gonna be the best player on my varsity team. By sophomore year, I was one of the best players on my varsity team. So just keep working. It's like, you never gotta dwell on what's happening right now, because what you're doing right now is for 5 years in the future. So, you know, I'm working every day right now. So 2, 3, 4 years into my NBA career, hopefully I'm where I want to be, you know?
Yeah, that guy, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna read this quote to you. I just want to know what you think about it. So, confident enough to know you deserve what's coming, but humble enough to know there's plenty more work to be done. What does that statement mean to you?
Yeah, I like that one. I might need that one. You might just tell me that. But, you know, I'm a confident guy. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I've been through to get where I'm at now. So, you know, knowing that, smile here and there, you know, lift your chin up when you walk in the building, because I know I'm one of the best basketball players in that building every time I walk in, but at the same time, I'm not as good as I want to be. So in the future, you know, you gotta keep working, gotta keep working every day, and hopefully through all that humbleness, get to where you want to be, and one day, you know, kick your feet up and relax. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I like that. I like that. So we've talked a lot about your offensive game, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention your defensive game. So 27 steals on the season, 4th on the team in blocks last year. Some would say clamps. But how would you describe your defensive game, and how important is defense to you?
It's funny, you know, people, if you look at me, I look like I have to play defense. Like, I have 7-foot wingspan, basically. I'm 6'6", 6'7". I have a skinnier frame, but, you know, nowadays, length is what makes up for that. So, you know, just trying to keep guys in front. I went through an injury first game of the year, which I was battling the whole entire year. I had a torn hip labrum, which kind of, like, I wouldn't say it threw off my game, but I'm always thinking about that in the back of my head. So shot wasn't falling early in the year. I realized if my shot's not falling and I'm not playing defense, it's going to be exactly like my freshman year. I'm going to be on that bench. So one thing about San Diego State, if you don't play defense, you don't play. So that whole entire freshman year was building up for when I actually got to play. You know, we have a lot of defensive schemes and stuff that's hard to actually understand if you're first coming in. So I think just a year in the program allowed me to grow as a defender. And just being athletic enough to move and have good timing on blocking shots, I think that's also helped. Guarding smaller defenders as well. Mm-hmm. You know, I think my career high was against New Mexico. My career high blocks was against New Mexico. I think I had 4 or whatever. And majority of their guard 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". So, you know, just having that height advantage on them, but also being able to move my feet.
Absolutely. Okay, so you mentioned New Mexico. You guys are playing them at home, and I think it was the first half. You come down, you get a huge block. And then you come back down and knock down that transition. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay. That was my favorite play of the year.
See, I thought you would remember that. Well, take me through what was going through your head in that sequence.
It's funny. I mean, once I got the block, I don't really know what I was thinking. I remember I blocked it directly to the dude in the corner. Mm-hmm. So I think it was Amsdale, the 4-man for New Mexico. He gets the ball, he shoots it, he misses. I see Mont get it. Mont might be the fastest on that court. Him or Jalen House are the fastest on that court. So once I seen him pushing, I'm like, okay, I might as well run my lane. He was telling me after the play, he's like, you should have ran to the hoop. I seen where the people were going. I was like, no, I'm gonna go to that wing. And as soon as I pulled it, I knew that was good. I didn't hold my follow through or anything. I'm already starting to run back to celebrate. And that was probably the most fun game I've had at SDSU. Just as, like, personally, like, me and Elijah, you know, we didn't play our freshman years. Mm-hmm. We had big sophomore years, like, big goals ahead of us, and we both played really well that game. And I think that helped us win that game. So I was one of the loudest I heard Viejas. It was crazy.
I can only imagine.
You could not hear a thing.
I can only imagine. I love the confidence. Yeah. And that transition 3 is something different. Yeah. Like, you really got to have the confidence to just come down, stop, and pop that.
Yeah, definitely.
No, yeah, I love that. Let's see. So I've watched some of your film from last season, 38% from the field, 31% from 3, but I feel like your stats don't really tell, like, the true story of how skilled you are and the impact that you have on the game. What would you say your biggest impact is on your team?
I'd say my energy. And that's, like, multiple things. Like, energy, like, I'm going to come into practice every day with a smile on my face. So if you don't have a smile on your face and I see you at practice, I'm going to make sure you have a smile on your face after that. So I think energy in that standpoint, like, off the court, you know, make sure guys are good, make sure they're laughing, make sure everybody's great. But, you know, also on the court, if I can feel us being flat as a team, I'm going to lay out for a ball and go look at the bench and start screaming so I can get them going too. You know, I think plays like that are what really help teams win. The little things.
Yeah, just
on the little things.
It feels like almost like the championship culture that you kind of talked about and that I've seen just throughout the years of my playing career at San Diego State. What was that? How did those guys instill that championship culture into you? Because everything you just talked about right now, as you know, just a sophomore doing those things is so huge because a lot of people don't get that. They want to come in, they want to score right away. And you're like, no, I'm going to come in and bring energy, and that's going to bring my offense. How did that championship culture kind of come about?
It's hard to explain. Like, at SDSU, we as a program just have a swagger about ourselves. Like, we know nobody's messing with us. That's what we honestly believe. You know, we hard-nosed defensively, a bunch of playmakers on the offensive side. Like, we know what we're capable of. We know our history. We know what we're supposed to do. So we just hold ourselves to that standard every time we walk into a building. Like, when we walk into a building, you're going to know that SDSU's in that building just by the way we carry ourselves.
All right, love that, love that. Okay. So, what can the Aztec fans expect from you this upcoming season?
Shoot, I'm trying to get Defensive Player of the Year. That's one of my goals. You know, first team All Mountain West. I think I can definitely do that. But overall, just be like that team guy, like that face. When you think of SDSU basketball, I want to be one of them faces that you think of in the future. So I think I'm due for big things this year. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, and so you guys obviously lose some guys to graduation. You have some transfers. I know you guys probably haven't started your summer workouts fully and all that stuff, but what has the vibe kind of been like, at least during spring workouts and going into the summer, and then looking towards next season? You're obviously going to be taking a much bigger role, but what has the vibe kind of been like with the team, and how have you kind of like tried to help keep things like tight knit?
Yeah, you know, it's weird because like a lot of the guys that are leaving, like those are guys that I've known my whole entire time in San Diego. So I haven't really gotten a sense for it yet of how different it's going to be. But, you know, like I said, it's like the SDSU culture. Like, no matter who we bring in, we only recruit guys who we think fit our culture. So no matter who we bring in, I think we're going to be all right. I think we're all going to be, we're a very close-knit group. Coaches recruit great characters, like great people, great families. So it's like, I think there'll be no issues keeping the main thing the main thing.
Love that. Keep the main thing the main thing. Okay, so I was thinking before we wrap it up, we're gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions. You cool with that?
Let me lock in for that.
So let me sit up real quick. Okay. So kind of like this or that. Okay. So dunk or 3-pointer?
Dunk.
Okay. Ankle breaker or buzzer beater half court shot?
Buzzer beater half court shot.
Okay. Favorite sneaker?
Walking around or playing?
Both.
Walking around, I'd probably say Alexander McQueen.
Okay.
Playing, it's funny. Everybody in the locker room gonna know that one. I would probably say the Tatums.
Okay.
The Tatums. I love the Tatums. They break easy on me, but I got like 5 pairs that I still wear no matter what.
Okay. Game day, are we going comfy or are you dressing up kind of throwing a fit?
Oh, I'm not game day, every day comfy.
Oh, okay.
Every day comfy.
We love
every
that. We love that. What's your go-to move?
Probably like a drop cross. It depends like where I'm at on the court. Like if I'm coming down in transition, probably a drop cross.
Okay.
Try to get them going downhill, but I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't know if I have a go-to move. I kind of just try to, whatever they throw at me, I'm gonna try to react off of that.
Look, we'll revisit at the end of the season. I'm gonna hit you
I'm
again.
gonna go most clips, whatever the best move was. We're gonna say that.
Okay, we'll go with that. Pre-game hype song.
Everybody on our team really messes with Blue Bucks Clan.
Okay.
So, I mean, they got a bunch. I'd probably say Closed Curtains.
Okay.
By Blue Bucks Clan.
Okay. What has been your favorite moment so far in the Aztec uniform?
Unselfishly, Lamont game winner. You know, the way the Final Four works, like they have the elevated court, so the benches are down. Like you got to go upstairs to see it. And like we're all sitting on the stairs at this point. We're down 1. Mont gets the ball. It feels like he's not about to get a shot off. So we're like, no, Mont, you gotta give it up. You gotta give it up. We are at like the perfect angle. He's shooting it from right here. The basket's right here. We're all sitting right here. So we have the perfect angle. Like if you go and rewatch the game winner, Elijah, me, and DT were almost on the court before the ball went in because you could see the ball going in. And it was like, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now talking about it. It's the craziest sports moment of my life, definitely.
Love that. And as a freshman, too.
Yeah, as a freshman,
insane.
Like, you never expect to be in the national championship your freshman year and, like, crazy experience.
Yeah. Okay. Kobe or LeBron?
R.I.P. Kobe, but I'm a big Bron. I'm a big Bron fan.
Okay.
Bron my GOAT.
That's fair. Okay, last question. Describe Miles Byrd in one word.
I would say fun.
Fun. Okay.
Fun. I say fun.
Okay. Fun guy. I like that.
Fun guy. Cool guy. Fun guy.
Cool guy. Fun guy. Okay. We like that. Okay. I think that's it. That's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Have anything else you wanna let the people know? Anything to look forward to next season?
Wait on next year. Just wait on it.
Wait on next year. All right. You heard it here first. Wait on it next year. Miles Byrd. Remember the name. We're gonna be talking about him by the end of the season. Prime for an outstanding, exploding season. going for Defensive Player of the Year. Wish you nothing but the best, and I'll definitely be tuned in watching.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.